We all know the sensation of trying to span a gap. It is the human experience of reaching outward, feeling as though a vast, indifferent void sits between ourselves and whatever we are trying to connect with. We inherit a strict set of physical rules about how reality works. We treat the universe as if it were a sprawling, empty room, a container for discrete, solid objects, separated by physical space and divided by time. Operating under these rules produces a specific emotional consequence: fragmentation. This is the habit of holding one distinction at the expense of another. We view ourselves as detached parts, which allows us to experience love without reciprocity, or attraction without safety. If we assume we are isolated components forced to traverse a physical space to reach someone else, then the feeling of being fundamentally alone is the only logical outcome of that premise. But we can test that premise. What if the void between us is not an empty space, but a misunderstanding of how the system is structured? These two fluctuating waveforms, slowly synchronizing, offer a different model for desire. Longing is the recognition of incomplete harmonic integration within the patterning. It is the system identifying where its own coherence has not yet stabilized into a single configuration. In this framework, the experience of longing indicates an underlying connection. It is the signal of a relation that already exists, rather than a confirmation that we are separate. To understand how this connection functions, we have to look past standard physics. This model suggests reality is not a field containing things, or a space where events occur. Nothing moves as a solid substance through a vacuum. This grid demonstrates the concept of addressability. Instead of a solid object traveling across an empty space, we see localized zones lighting up in a specific sequence. Addressability is the immediate availability for a pattern to instantiate. As these illuminated zones form a recognizable geometric shape, we see how continuity is created. What we perceive as the world, time, and interaction is the continuous articulation of this addressability as a self-similar pattern. Existence is an ongoing, patterned activation expressing itself as experience. Continuity arises from the pattern's own self-similarity, which removes the physical necessity for travel. This introduces a logical hurdle. If reality is one unbroken field of addressability, how can an individual you exist? How is it possible to have an other? Distinction is the mechanism by which unity expresses itself. Without distinction, an unbroken field has no way to articulate its own nature. This diagram illustrates the first self-reference. A single gesture folds inward and differentiates into three inseparable aspects: the containing space, the orientation taken, and what shows up: the formative, the operator, and the containing. This is one articulation self-differentiating without fragmenting. It means that individuality and unity are conjugate. They are two sides of the same relational event. Under this model, a person is a stable relational configuration. Your body, memory, and history arise as a coherent pattern that the system recognizes and re-recognizes over time. When we see two people interacting, we are witnessing relational patterning within one articulation. These two profiles are actually a single uninterrupted loop. Relational structuring natively produces the experiences of intimacy, resonance, and even immense distance. These are different harmonics of the same field, and they do not require the underlying unity to break. The coherence between individuals is native to the articulation itself. It does not rely on circumstance, behavior, or physical proximity to be real. Coherence is differentiation without suppression. It is the state where every distinction is held in simultaneous relation and no harmonic is excluded. We often spend our lives trying to force separate fragments of ourselves together. Holding this configuration is a matter of non-fragmentation, allowing full-spectrum coherence to remain active. When no dimension of experience is reduced to protect another, what remains is the configuration that was already present. When we stop suppressing parts of the pattern, we find that the wholeness we were seeking has been the operating condition of the system the entire time. Seeking is the system's address, clarifying what is already operative. It is not a journey to find a new object, but the stabilization of recognition. Arrival is the dissolution of the assumption that the destination was ever located elsewhere. Look at how energy transfers across the surface of this ocean swell. The wave arrives without the water itself traveling across the sea. The movement happens as the destination. The arc bridges without severing, and the pattern completes even as it expands. Because reality is an ongoing, self-articulating coherence of addressability, distance is a secondary effect of how we perceive the pattern. There is no elsewhere, and within this articulation, no one is truly alone.